Hello my creative friends, it's time for another paint along, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can create this 4x4 strawberry painting. It's summertime, and who doesn't like to have a sweet little small painting project to add a little bit of art to your day? I do have a sketchbook membership for those who would like some help drawing. I know not everyone likes to draw, so I can do that part for you. I can do the drawing and then you can trace. So if you'd like to have a paint and trace option, I have a link down inside of the description box that has the link for my sketchbook membership. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I begin with these inexpensive mini little canvases. I purchased these small 4x4 canvases at my local Dollar General store. Now often they might have a little bit of a warping going on to it where the canvas isn't pulled quite tight enough. So to remedy this, I add some water to the back and to the front, and then I'll go ahead and dry it. After it's dry, it does pull the canvas tight and it'll be ready to paint. So these inexpensive ones really do work well. That'll tighten up nicely to go ahead and paint on. I'm going to begin the painting process by toning my canvas in the color, the Liquitex basic color called Cadmium Red Medium. I do like to tone my canvases right away. It throws a little bit of color on there. In my style of painting, I like a loose style, and I don't mind seeing those little bitsy colors of the red behind. This is kind of a medium shade of color, so it just suits me to add the red first and then build my color on top. This is all optional. You can choose to do this, but if you want to experiment, I suggest using a cadmium red to tone your canvas with. Once the toning color is dry, I'm going to be starting with the strawberry. I'm going to be using a light shade of pink called Rose and a darker shade of red called the Cadmium Deep color, as well as that first original color of the red medium hue. I'm going to be using a palette knife for this process, but you can use a paintbrush if you feel more comfortable with it. I like to use the palette knife because I can get a little bit more texture, and I love the way it blends the colors. When you're using a palette knife, it's not that you're loading a lot of color or paint on your brush. You're lightly buttering the surface and skating the paint across, and you're creating the layers that way. If your colors start to get too over blended, stop the process of painting, let it dry, and then begin again. Sometimes we add too many layers too quickly and our paint becomes all blended and we don't see the differences in our color. So that would be a tip when you're using the palette knife, is to put your colors on. You can layer them, but if it starts to feel over blended, give it a chance to dry and begin the process again. To begin the background, I was going to be using the color called Bright Aqua Green in the Liquitex Basic color. I'm going to use my palette knife again and skate across the back, and I'm okay with leaving a little bit of that red of my toning color showing through. I like to have little peaks of that color when I'm doing my background, and this is just the beginning layer, so I want to make sure I leave some room to perhaps have just a tiny bit of peaks of that color showing through. While the green color was still wet, I took some color called Light Blue Permanent and added that to the background as well. I'm just blending those two colors together using that same buttering technique that I had used on the front of the strawberry. I'm going to be applying that to the background as well. Once I had those colors slightly blended onto the background, I went ahead and I dried my piece completely, and then I'm going to start putting on the next layers. The next painting process was going to be adding shadows and highlights. I had mixed a color called Evergreen, which is a darker green, but it wasn't quite green or dark enough, so I added a little bit of black to it to even saturate the color a little bit more. I applied a little bit more of my blue that I had originally put on for my background and mixed those two colors together with my palette knife. The shadow was going to be on the left side of my strawberry, and then I wanted to create a highlight on the other side, on the right top side. I took a little bit of the white and mixed my colors together and created the highlight colors. This is just a dance of building my layers. So I put the darker colors on with the palette knife, blend some other colors over it, add a little bit of the white, lighter colors to the top, and add the highlights. I do go back into some of the original colors that I had used for my background, and I apply those over top of the areas I just painted. That's going to help blend those colors together so I don't have such stark, harsh stop and start lines, and that's just going to bring it all together. So again, put the shadows on, but then I cover them up a little bit. I put my highlights on and add a little bit more color that way. If you start losing the shape of your strawberry, you can go back in with some of the reds and re-strengthen the shape of your strawberry as well. If it feels like the background is too wet to do this step, let it dry, and then you can always go back in and do a little bit more work on your strawberry. To paint the green stem on my strawberry, I decided to go ahead and base coat it in a white first. If I were to apply my brighter greens over top of the reds, it's just going to be very dull. So by adding the white underneath first, I can add that brightness to the greens that I want to have showing on my strawberry top. I'm going to paint it in white, let it dry, and then choose a bright green to go ahead and base coat this area in. For the bright green color, I used the color Citron Green and the Deco Art color. And for the medium color of green, I used Hauser Medium Green. And then I just used some of that green, the evergreen color that was already on my palette, to create the dark green inside of that area. I used those three same colors to make the little seeds on the front of my strawberry as well. At this stage, I wanted to create a floated shadow underneath the left side of my strawberry. So I used the color in Deco Art called Desert Turquoise and mixed it with a little bit of the lamp black color. I dipped my brush in the water but then tapped it off on my paper towel, side loaded the color just on the tip of my brush, and floated the color on that left side. By having just a little bit of water in my brush and having it just side loaded, it adds a beautiful floated shadow on that left-hand side. Now to add the highlight on the opposite side, I was going to be using the color called Sea or Spa Blue and the Deco Art color, and I was going to be doing the same technique, dipping my brush in water, side loading it, rubbing it back and forth on my palette to spread the paint from dark to lighter, and then I floated that lighter shadow on the other side. The floating color technique does take a little practice, but it's well worth practicing. I use this technique often when I do my acrylic paintings of floating a watery shadow on the bottom and a watery highlight on the top. Now to add a little bit more depth to that strawberry, I'm taking more of the red, the cadmium red deep, that darker shade of color, and I'm going to be adding some of that underneath the leaves to add a little bit more darkness there. I'm going to be adding just a little bit more black to that red too to add a little bit more shadow to those areas. And I'm also going to be using another color in the Deco Art called Deep Burgundy to add a darker shadow to my strawberry. It's all about the layers when you're doing these little paintings, but the thing about them being small is all you really need is just a tish bit of paint and a few little strokes, and a little bit of paint is really going to make a difference on these small paintings. Experiment with the colors that you might have. You may not have all the colors I do, but don't let that stop you. You can go ahead and just use what you have and play around with it. It's a matter of having the darks, the mediums, and the light in your paintings. You can see that I'm adding that shadow line to the one side of the strawberry. I also add it to the other, and that's really going to give me those contouring feel of that my strawberry is going around and not just so flat. That lighter blue color, the Spa Blue, looks really bright when it's wet, but as it dries, it softens out. So you may need to add another stroke of that brighter color. That's what I did at this point, is I actually strengthened that highlight on the very top part of my strawberry. My green top had a little bit of time to dry, so I'm going back in and strengthening those colors as well. I'm adding all three colors back in to add another layer of depth to this strawberry top. Now to add a little bit more interest to the edges, I took that color, the Desert Turquoise, mixed with a little bit of black, put it on my palette knife, and then skated it across the edge. This is just going to be the first layer. If I left it just this dark, it would look a little bit too harsh. So I'm going to be putting this darker color on first, And then I'm going to be layering some of the other colors that I'd already used on the background over this top to soften it back and create that irregular looking line. This is a fun technique to use on your paintings if you want to add some interest on your edges, to do a little bit darker on the edge, but then come back in with some of the colors that you've already used and then kind of soften it to give it more of that irregular background look. I gave my piece a little bit of time to dry, and then I began the line work on my mixed media piece. If you watch me often, you know I have some favorites, and this Kimberly 9XXB pencil is one of my favorites. I love the soft quality of the graphite, a quality to it. It almost looks charcoal. It's one of my favorites to use. I like to use this pencil to create loose line work in my paintings, and it's going to work great to use this pencil to create those curly little lines for my strawberry. And I like to go around my strawberry loosely, holding my pencil a little bit farther back to create some loose line work. I go in where the seeds are too, just to add a little bit more line work in there as well. This is where I'm going in and I'm tweaking the edges just a little bit more. My acrylic paint has had time to dry, and mostly acrylic paint will dry darker as it dries. It's just the opposite of what watercolor is. This one's going to dry darker. So as the steps go along, you may need to tweak your colors just a little bit more. The next pencil I was going to be using was my China marker in white. This is another pencil that I love to use. They're super inexpensive, but I love the soft white color that it can do, and I always like to do little scribbly bits with this white pencil. I was going to be using a few of my Stabilo pencils too. They're a water-based color crayon. They were developed for children, but a lot of the mixed media people love to use these because they're water soluble. They create a beautiful kind of a crayon texture, but you can soften them all with water and create another look with this type, using this pencil. You'll still see some of the pencil mark or the color crayon look underneath there, even after softening them slightly with water. These are water soluble, which will make a difference in the end to make sure we seal our pieces properly, but they are a great fun tool to use. The next pencil I'm going to be using is the General Charcoals 4B Soft Pencil. This charcoal pencil creates beautiful dark rich lines, and it's great for adding deeper shadows to your pieces. I'm going to run it underneath the leaf petals to create darker shadows underneath there and add just a little touch of it on the edge of my strawberries. Adding the mixed media elements to this painting is really optional. Use what you have. You can just use the acrylic paint and have a beautiful painting as well. Or paint it in watercolor, or do a mixed media piece by adding some collage elements. You can really change up the look of this piece. Now I'm adding a bright highlight onto my piece using a little bit of the color called Fluorescent Pink by Liquitex Basics. It's one of my favorite colors that they actually have, and I use it often. It just adds a beautiful pop of color on the very top. And I think I'm just about done. Oh, I'm adding one more pen, I guess. I've decided I wanted to use my Uniball white pen. The Uniball white ink is a great pen when you're doing mixed media because it will mark on anything. My recommendation is to only use one at a time though. Once you crack that pen open to use it, their clock starts ticking and it's not going to work for a long period of time before it dries out. So I always suggest opening up one pen, maybe put a piece of tape on the end so you know which one you're using, and just use that until it's no longer usable. I'm going to give my piece plenty of time to dry, and then I need to go ahead and seal it. I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum Matte Clear on top of my piece. Because I have used water-soluble items on the very top, I need to go ahead and clear coat it. Well, let's see what this strawberry painting looks like sitting in my studio. I love the contrast of the turquoise blues up against those reds, and that pop of fluorescent pink really brings this strawberry to life. If you're new to my channel and you like doing art and crafts, come on over and see what I'm doing. If you wouldn't mind leave me a comment or leave me a thumbs up, it would really help my channel. If you enjoyed this tutorial, here's a couple more you might want to check out. Well, thanks for joining me today, and hopefully you'll come back and join me again, and perhaps next time you'll create right along with me.